Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I just actually just started my YouTube channel, I would say about a month ago, but I noticed that a lot of my videos that I have been uploading has been very long. I'm not saying that they're really long, but they're boring, because I believe that I'm giving a lot of information in those videos, and I'm sharing a lot. It's just that I believe that's, it's good to kind of balance, between kind of having those long videos and kind of having some short videos too. But I just want to keep encouraging to keep choosing Jesus, because we need God. We need God the most, especially when we start experiencing life issues and life problems, and when we start going through trials, and when we start going through tribulations, and when we're feeling heartbroken, and when we're in so much pain, and when it seems like we just can't see ourselves past a situation. Is going to take the supernatural power of the Holy Spirit to just pull you through and just get you over that get you over that hurdle, and give you the strength to overcome those obstacles. So no matter what, you hold on to them. No matter what, you keep choosing Him, you keep believing, and that you keep fighting the good fight of faith. And I just want to encourage you as I encourage myself and speak to you, as I speak to myself, that you just keep choosing Him. You keep choosing Him because He have chosen you, and He have chosen you as such as a time as this, and He has chosen you to bear fruit, and to bear even greater fruit. And when He says that I have chosen you to bear fruit, He's talking about the fruit of the Spirit, that He has chosen you, and for you to bear that fruit, and for you to walk in the Spirit, that you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh, and that there is no condemnation for those that walk in the Spirit, and that walk upright before God. So no matter what, you keep going after Him. And sometimes it gets hard. It does get hard, because a lot of times we tend to focus on what we're dealing with and what we're going through. But remember when Jesus says to cast all our cares upon Him, and He says those who are weighed down, those who are burdened down, those who are heavy laden, He says, come to me and I will give you rest. He says, learn from me, because I am gentle and I am lowly in heart. And God releases things that seems to have a hold on us and seems to be weighing us down. At times He makes things easier for us, because I believe that a lot of the things that I really didn't have to go through in life, and I believe that I still wouldn't have to go through in life, because I keep choosing Him. And it's not easy, but in spite of, and whatever, that you just keep choosing Him, you keep making Him your number one priority, and keep leaning on the everlasting arms of God, and that He will keep you and I in perfect peace when our minds are stayed on Him, because it shows Him that we trust Him. But that's not what I was going to talk about on this video. What I'm going to talk about on this video, this is actually a relationship video, and on this video I wanted to talk about when we decide to go back to our ex, right? Your ex is someone from your past, someone that you were in a previous relationship with. It could have lasted for weeks, it could have lasted for days, it could have lasted for months, and for many of us it has been years. But what I want to ask you is that before you consider going back to your ex, for you to think about the reason why the relationship ended. If it's you as a woman who walked away from the relationship, think about, why did you walk away from that relationship? If you are a man who chose to walk away from that relationship, I need you to think about, why did you choose to walk away from that relationship? A lot of times in relationships, before they end, or before two people break up, you deal with a lot of stuff that's going on in that relationship, and it's like you're just dealing with that and dealing with that and dealing with this and dealing with that and going through this and going through that. But then it seems like it's this one incident where it seems like, okay, this is what broke the camel's back. Like, this is what really caused me to just walk away from this whole relationship and just throw the whole thing away. So think about that time, and think about that moment that where you realize, okay, this is it. Like, there is no more of us. Like, the relationship has basically ran its course. So think about that before you choose to go back, because the reason I say that is sometimes, your ex may pop back up and they may want to see if they have another chance with you, another opportunity with you. So they may ask, hey, would you consider us getting back together, or I would like for us to try again at another, at a relationship, and I would like for us to be together again. And if they're asking you that, you have to think about, if it was you who left the relationship, why did you choose to leave the relationship? There's always exception, you know what I mean? But for the most part, I believe that if two people are really meant to be together, then the relationship would have never ended, or the relationship wouldn't have gone left, or it wouldn't have been so much going on in that relationship that you felt as a man, or you felt as a woman, that you just took on too much. You dealt with too much, and you just put up with so much, foolishness and disrespect and lying and dishonesty and all of that. And a lot of things that we choose to put up with in a relationship, and we choose to stay there, and we choose to take on all of this. I'm here to let you know that a lot of things that we put up with, that you should not have to be going through all of that in a relationship with a person. And when we start going through so much in a relationship with a person, that's when you have to come to realize, like, okay, I'm not for you and you're not for me. So if you are thinking about going back to your ex, because sometimes when we think about going back, that means like you're going back to your past, and we know that we cannot gaze ahead at what lies ahead of us and move forward if we're still looking back at our past. So sometimes going back to your ex, and most times it's like going back to your past, like you're trying to rekindle something in your past, instead of saying, we were together, we did what we did, and it lasted why it lasted, but it ended, and when you can think about everything that you went through, and how, or when you can just think over the relationship, and what the two of you went through in that relationship, so it's just not worth going back to, you know what I'm saying? And that's what you have to really think about, as a man or as a woman. Like, if you were the one who actually ended the relationship, if you were the one who actually cut the relationship off, you have to think about why did you do that? Was there cheating? Was there lying? Was there abuse, or things of that that will kind of make you say, I'm not going back to that. Like, no, I don't want that. Been there, done that, and I just don't want to go back to that. Also, too, this is what I want to say, too, because a lot of times when our exes, when they show up and when they pop up, sometimes, a lot of times it's like, okay, I've changed. But this is what I've learned about change, that a person truly changes when they have actually come to their senses, and when they have actually come to themselves, and they realize, hey, I need to do better, I need to be better, I need to make some changes, and they get into action, and they create a plan, and they put that plan to action, and they put that plan to work on what it actually takes for them to actually change and be better and do better. But they're doing this for themselves, and I believe that's what that's what truly bring forth change in a person, is when that person has realized that they have to make some changes in their life, and they have actually created a plan, and they have put that plan to work, and they are working on doing better and being a better person, but they're doing it for themselves, because sometimes it's like, okay, I'm doing this for you, or I'm doing this for the relationship, but you don't need him or you don't need her to do it for you, or you don't need him or you don't need her to do it for the relationship. No, you need to be making some changes for yourself, because that is what's going to bring forth true change. That's what's going to bring forth change that is for real, because when you're trying to do it for something or someone, then that's not true change. But when you have actually come to yourself and realize that, hey, I just need to do better and be better, period, and that you are choosing to make some positive changes in your life, which is truly a blessing. You are doing that for you. You're not doing that to try to get her back or try to get him back. So when it comes to reconsidering being in a relationship, rekindling or reconsidering being in a relationship again with your ex, you have to think about, why did the relationship ended? If you know that it was just toxic, and you come to realize that the two of you just was not meant for one another, then I would recommend not to go back, because it's like going backwards, and it's a high possibility that you could just be going back to the same old thing, like nothing's changed. You're just choosing to go back, but then you're choosing to go backwards instead of actually focusing and gazing upon what actually is before you, and looking forward into actually moving into that best thing, and moving into what's actually for you. But if you keep looking backwards, then you're not going to be able to do that. And and just really think about, is this really worth your time and your effort and your energy? And that's what you really have to think about when it comes to going back to your ex. And also, I want to say this too, because a lot of times we'll have our minds made up on something, but then we'll start listening to what somebody else is saying. They're telling you, oh, you need to go back, and you need to work it out with him, you need to work it out with her, and you know that the two of you are meant to be together. When you know otherwise, make sure that the decision you make is the decision that the choice that you make is because you made it. It wasn't based on what somebody was telling you to do, but that if you're choosing to go back to your ex, like, this is something that I chose to do. And if you want to give it a chance or give it an opportunity, you're really going to have to think about, like I've said a few times before, like, is this really worth it? Do I really want to go back to this? You know what I'm saying? Do not go back to it if you know that the two of you just don't mix. The two of you are like night and day. The two of you just don't have nothing in common. There's no compatibility or anything like that. It's a possibility. Then you're just going back to just waste your time. So I just wanted to get on here and do a quick video when it comes to relationships and things of that. But always think about moving forward. You know what I mean? Moving forward, because a lot of times when we go back to our exes, you're really not going back to anything. You know what I'm saying? And if the two of you, in many cases, if the two of you were actually meant to be together, the relationship wouldn't have ended, or you wouldn't have to endure so much in that relationship until eventually you broke and was just like, okay, I'm done. Like, I'm done. So don't choose to go back to that. Choose to move on and to move forward. And also to make that suggestion to him or her, like, what we had is what we have had. Then, you need to move on with your life, and I need to move on with mine. But, you know, if it was something, you know, very bad that took place in the relationship, I wouldn't recommend you going back. But if the two of you were together and overall the relationship was good, overall the relationship was healthy, overall the two of you respected one another, but it just seemed like it just wasn't the right time, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was working on trying to get things together in his life, and you was working on trying to get things together in your life, and at that time the two of you really couldn't put forth that time and energy and what was actually needed to work and build a healthy relationship, you know. So if it's something like that, you know what I'm saying, like, for the most part, you know, we had a pretty good relationship, you know what I'm saying. We spent a lot of time together, you know, we have fun together, you know, we respected one another. Like, if it's a situation like that, I would say, well, you know, if you feel like the time is right now, when you could think back when it was so much that you were trying to get done in your life and you were trying to accomplish, and he was trying to get up on his grind or get up on his feet, but then now the two of you have decided, okay, maybe this is a good time now for us to actually have the time to work on building a healthy relationship, then I would say, okay, you know. But if it was just bad, I would not recommend you going back to that at all. So I just wanted to get on here. This is a quick video, and get on here and just talk about you know, when to really reconsider going back to your ex. Until next time, you all take care. And if you come onto my channel, if you like any of my videos, if you like any of the content, then make sure you subscribe to my channel, click that notification bell, and anytime I upload a video that you will be notified. Thank you.